Hi friends, today we are going to learn about what are lambda expressions or arrow functions in JavaScript. Lambda expressions are arrow functions in JavaScript. Lambda expressions are also known as arrow functions, are a shorthand way to write anonymous functions in JavaScript. Sorry, they provide a more concise syntax for writing functions, especially for short functions are those used in callbacks, and they have some unique behavior in how they handle this keyword. Syntax of arrow functions. Function name, see, we have a parenthesis with parameter 1, parameter 2 or etc. with lambda expression, curly bracket open and curly bracket close. For functions with a single parameter, parentheses are optional. See, you can look at here, it's a there is no parenthesis here with number, an arrow symbol and num into num. For functions with no parameter, you still need empty parentheses. So say hello, we have a empty parenthesis with lambda console.log hello world. Key features of arrow functions. Concise syntax. Arrow functions are typically more compact than traditional function expressions. No this binding. One of the key differences between regular functions and arrow functions is that arrow functions do not have their own this. Instead, they lexically bind the this value from the surrounding context in which they were created. This is inherited from the outer function or scope. No arguments object. Arrow functions do not have an arguments object which is available in traditional function to refer to the function's arguments. However, you can still access the arguments objects from the outer function or scope if needed. Implicit return. If the function consists of a single expression, you can omit a return statement and the result of the expression will be automatically returned. Now we'll see the example. One is basic example. We have a parenthesis with we have a two arguments and lambda a plus b. So when we call with add 2 comma 3, the output is 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. And here a plus b is returned implicitly because there is only one expression in the arrow. Function with multiple statements, like we have a multiply and a comma b with parenthesis lambda expression open curly bracket and close curly bracket, result equal to a plus a into multiply into b and the return is result. So when we call this multiply with 2 comma 3, 2 into 3 output is 6. In this case, since the function has a multiple statements, this is a one statement, this is a one statement, you must include curly braces and explicitly use the return statement. Now no parameter. See, we have a no parameter, that means argument, arrow function, empty parenthesis, lambda expression console.log hello world, greet, output is hello world. For function that does not take any parameter, use empty parenthesis. Single parameter, parentheses are optional. So it is single parameter, it takes number and lambda num into num. So the 4 square of 4 is 16. Here, since there is only one parameter, parenthesis around num can be omitted. Arrow functions in callback. We have an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the name of numbers and numbers dot map. So see, look at here, it's here it's taking a one argument num. You can use parenthesis or you can omit if you want that, num into 2. So when we called with doubled, always this multiplies with 2. 2 into 1 2, 2 into 2 4, 2 into 3 6, 2 into 4 8, 2 into 5 10. In this example, map uses an arrow function to double each number in the array. This keyword in arrow functions. In regular functions, the value of this is determined by how the function is called. However, in arrow functions, this is lexically bound, meaning it refers to this of surrounding scope. Example, this in a regular function versus arrow function. See, a regular function, we have a this dot value assigned with initialized with 10. Set mode function, we have a this dot value plus plus. This refers to the global object or undefined in strict mode. This is the global object because it is assigned initialized here. And console.log this dot value, and we set with 1 millisecond. When we call with this output not NaN, in non-strict mode, this is a global object with an arrow function. So this dot value we have initialized with a 10, set timeout value plus. This refers to the arrow function instance. So arrow function instance output is 11. In the second example, because the arrow function does not have its own this, it uses the this from the surrounding arrow function in context, so the value is incremented as expected. The summary of differences: regular function with arrow function. Syntax: function for parenthesis with open bracket, open curly bracket and close curly bracket. So for with empty parenthesis with lambda, open curly bracket, close curly. This is dynamically bound based on how the function is called. This is explicit lexically bound from the surrounded context. Arguments object available provided access to all arguments passed to the function, not available. Return value requires a return for returning values. Implicit return for single expression. Use cases more flexible, can be used in object methods, constructors, etc. Mostly for small, short and anonymous functions like callbacks. When to use arrow functions? When you want a shorter syntax for functions, when you need to lexically bind this in callbacks, or when dealing with event listeners, for example. When you don't need arguments, object, function specific this. When to use regular functions? When you need a defined methods and object that depends on this keyword. When working with constructors or classes, as this needs to be dynamically bound. So friends, this is all about arrow functions in JavaScript. Thank you.